Here, this perp back with another video, and yes, Cobra Kai is back and better than ever. This is episode 1, season 3, Aftermath. And what a perfect title for this episode, because it literally shows us what happened after season 2. And that was a epic season. I can't wait to see how this season ends and where they take this story. I'm excited to talk about this. Before I get into this review, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at perpmartin420. So let me start off by saying this was a complete power move by Netflix to acquire Cobra Kai. But anyways, I don't want to get into that. I'm definitely going to do a live stream probably in like 2 weeks about this whole entire series. I'm gonna have a whole panel. Definitely be on the lookout for that. But as I said, this episode is called Aftermath, and it literally shows you the aftermath of the season finale of season 2. Now it's been 2 weeks. Everybody's kind of going through their different phases. You know, Miguel, he's in the hospital in a coma. Nobody knows if he's going to survive at this point or if he's going to die. Me personally, knowing how dark I am, you know what I'm saying, I would have him die, but it obviously makes sense to keep him alive in the story because I feel like he's going to play a big part, a big role in this season for Danny and Johnny to, you know, come together. But we'll get back to that very shortly. Now, Johnny, speaking of which, he's kind of going back to his old ways, just drinking, feeling depressed, feeling guilty for what happened to Miguel. Gets in a fight with these guys at the bar, and he's too drunk to even be focused and gets his ass whooped. We also find out that Robbie is on the run, which you could kind of tell, you know, based off of the season finale of season 2, you know, and this actually made local news and stuff, and this has stirred up so much controversy throughout the town. You know, parents are pissed off. Speaking of which, that PTA meeting was so meta, it was hilarious. Where, you know, you have Daniel, he comes out and tries to defend, you know, just karate in general. And somebody in the background says, "Hey man, I hear you were the fucking bully," yada yada. I'm paraphrasing obviously, but I thought that was really cool. So now the LaRussos, that whole family has kind of been looked at as the villain, because he's the one that taught some of these kids, you know, karate, and because of that, this happened in school. Most of the students got suspended. You know, Sam, she got suspended for 2 weeks, while Tori got expelled, which I thought that's pretty interesting. I guess because she was using a weapon and whatnot. She was trying to take Sam's head off. Speaking of Sam, real quick, interesting thing about Sam, she doesn't really feel comfortable being at school because she's worried about how people are looking at her. But all of a sudden, eventually, you know, she kind of snaps out of it, and she is able to kind of come to terms of who she is and what she is, and kind of takes her power back. That was really cool. Going back to Daniel, he is really worried about Robbie. He's trying to do everything in his power to find him before the cops do, so he can kind of talk to him into pretty much turning himself in to possibly not make it as drastic, because he says if the cops find him, they're going to throw the book at him. We still don't know the whole situation, what's going to happen with him. We saw in the trailer that he had a jumpsuit jumpsuit on. So eventually he's going to be in juvie. For how long, who knows? But he finds out that, he took one of the company cars and he's out there somewhere. So it makes it kind of easier for him to find Robbie. Meanwhile, you have Johnny, on the other hand, trying to get his shit together and trying to figure out what happened to Miguel, because he hasn't seen Miguel since, for like 2 weeks. He's in the hospital still. And one of the cops or guards mentions he might be dead. So this is what leads him to go to the hospital to make sure he's okay. And it's so interesting how Johnny kind of maneuvers his way into the hospital, because he's not a family member or anything. So he tries to do everything in his power to see Miguel. And throughout this episode, you see Miguel kind of having visions of being under Cobra Kai and the stuff that happened at school. And something kind of sparks in him when Johnny is able to get in the same room as him and kind of talk to him, even though he can't respond back. He kind of gives him some motivation to kind of wake up. Will he wake up next episode? Or have to wait and see. But I really like the whole vibe of this first episode. Very fast paced. Also, don't let me forget that Daniel came in contact with Kreese looking for Johnny, and he doesn't even know what's really going on, why Kreese is at Cobra Kai, and he thinks that Johnny is still a part of Cobra Kai, where they finally kind of link up towards the end to kind of put their differences aside to look for Robbie. And I really like that, and I'm looking forward to seeing that and seeing how long that goes. That'll probably bring them closer together, because they kind of teased it in season 2, but they kind of parted ways and things went kind of left. So hopefully, with Robbie out there and Miguel possibly pretty much being paralyzed, will help them come together and form a bond so they can take down Kreese. But I gotta go watch episode 2. Let me know how you guys feel about this episode. Till next time, I'm out.